This is the Tropic Pianist Gamers podcast, episode 60, Creating an Impact Through Books. Today I welcome my guest, Joanne Cook. Joanne, would you like to introduce yourself properly?
Oh, hello, Jen. Thanks so much for having me on your show today. So, my name's Joanne Cook. I'm the founder of Connect with Joe and the creator of the Road to Motherhood series. So, I help women to create impactful businesses and leave a legacy whilst raising a family. Yes, I think really my journey around this is really to help women to reach their full potential because that's what we're here for. We're here for more.
Cool. So that's an important point. Yeah, you're not just a mum. Yeah, you got to be everything else as well. I know with the juggle all too real. So your bio says you have 23 years of experience. So does that mean your children are around 23 or
Yes.
yeah.
So, my
So
eldest is going to be 23 this year, and I've got a 19-year-old as well.
So they got you started on your journey to what you wanted to become then. How did
They
that all get going?
definitely they definitely got me started and unexpectedly as well. So I was 22 when I found out I was pregnant with my eldest Jack. Very unexpected, going through a corporate career ladder jump, you know, planned a big white wedding that following year. Everything was just on track to tick off the goals, the 5-year plan. And then I saw two lions that I wasn't expecting and entered the road to motherhood.
That's one way to do it.
It's certainly, and it's about, I think as well, sometimes it's in those moments that, which is why I'm writing this book, because at the time, I just remember that it felt like the universe had sort of dealt me a different path completely to what I'd planned out. And it was a big shock. It was like, how do you do this? How do you become a mum and still have it all?
One of the dilemmas, yes. I faced that myself about 8 years ago. Um, what made you realize that you needed to do that? Was it literally the two lines on the pregnancy stick, or was it after that?
No, it was after that. So to be honest with you, navigating my own journey was just something I did. I always was so true to my purpose, my passion, and I just wanted to be successful. And at the time, I probably didn't realize what successful meant. I was just always chasing something more than
Hmm.
what was the standard. I've always had entrepreneurship running through my blood. Like I was born to be an entrepreneur. So there was always this drive and ambition to do stuff. And I think for me, the book series came about when my eldest son was about 13. So it's about 10 years ago. And people will laugh at this, but it was actually because he gave me a look. And if anyone's got teenagers, you know the look. When they wake up in the morning, you just look at their face and you go, you know what's going to happen next. You don't know what mood they're going to be in. And I just remember having a moment where I reflected back and just thought, gosh, like I'd never been a mum to a teenager before. And this was a new complete era that I was going into. And it was just a point of like reflection, really. And I'd pivoted my career from corporate into education. So I'd been supporting women for a very, very long time in the childcare business that I was running. And I was realizing that actually we were not alone. Everybody was sharing more. I was open about my stories. I've always been open about the bumps and the roundabouts of motherhood. And I think the more I was sharing it, people were like, just, oh my gosh, like I can relate to that. I don't feel like this. And I just feel like society has this big painted picture of husband, wife, 2.4 children, beautiful house, everything goes well. And it's not like that.
Yeah, too right. I know that myself as well. So you mentioned you had a book series. Would you like to tell us more about the book series?
Yes, so the whole concept was to not just write one book in the Road to Motherhood. It was going to be a series of books. So there's going to be 6 books in this series. I've actually mapped them out. The first book is coming out in June, on June the 16th. That starts the journey. The books are all about reflecting back. So even if you are just starting on the road, you are definitely going to learn some things along the way. But the most important thing is that we all come together and reflect on a journey that was, do you know what? Sometimes more challenging than running a business. And I think that's what people don't understand. We stress about trying to find the strategy in a business, but actually, motherhood, we just sometimes just wing it. So it's a nice reflection. So the series itself starts off with one book, but there is 6 books that are going to be released. I haven't got the date for the second book, but it's in the making already.
And they all follow on from each other, presumably, so they're
They
all
do.
linked in some way.
They all
Looking
follow
forward to
on,
hearing
don't
more
they?
about
Yes,
that.
so they all follow on. So each book will be sort of the next step in motherhood as well. So the idea being is that I'm creating the whole journey. And one of the questions I got asked was, why are you calling it the road to motherhood if we're already on motherhood? And what people don't realize is that it's not, you don't just become a mum and that's it. You don't just have this little bundle of joy and that's it. You're on, you're a mum. You're not, because every single time you enter the road of motherhood, there's a new challenge, there's a new milestone, there's a new era, there's a new challenge of obstacle that you're going to face. But also, more importantly, your kids are going to develop and you're going to have a new journey with them. So the series takes you on that journey right up to where you are now, all the way up to your children becoming adults and flying the nest. And well, mine have not got children of their own, thankfully. I'll be honest, I'm not ready for that yet. But for those that have, it will take you right up to that stage of when your children have their children.
Cool. So, looking at your journey throughout the six books, what is your favorite memory of being a mum? Have you got
Oh,
a single favorite memory?
do you know what? I think the favorite, my favorite memory is really always when there's two things. One, when they make you proud at school. I think there's a moment that all mums have this moment where you see your child doing something, excelling in something, or perhaps just being passionate about something, whether it's singing, stand up on stage, or showing you their work in the classroom. There's always that moment that brings you down to reality where you just go, this is you and them moment. This is a moment that only you like feel the joy for them. So that's one moment of my journey. I think always looking back on their own achievements and seeing them fly and seeing them happy and successful. But recently, there was one. My eldest one is very much like me. He's very ambitious. He's got drive. He's got passion. My second one has got his head on his shoulders. Very determined. He doesn't always sort of speak of ambition, but he's got the drive. But for me, the biggest moment was when we were looking at universities for him, and he went into the university tour. We was looking around, and he said to the careers advisor, "This is what I want to do. This is my end goal. So how can you help me as a university from where I am today get to that goal?" And I can't tell, and to anybody listening, make you think, well, what does that mean to you? But for me, I've always taught my boys to follow your dreams, to be passionate about the things you want to do, but also always seek support and make sure that you fit everything into your own passion and purpose, not fit into other people's shoes. And hearing him say that was just like I'd done a good job. It was like a confirmation. I ticked my second son off the box of, do you know what? He's got enough skills now to be an adult and fly his own path.
Yeah, that's important lessons to teach your kids. I hopefully teach mine. Mine's only 8 at the moment, but I've got all that to look forward to. So, talking of memories, have you got like an embarrassing memory in your motherhood journey? There's probably loads of them, but
There will be loads.
t tell me your top one.
Oh my gosh. I think, do you know what? The most embarrassing one, and I don't actually think it was my embarrassment, it was more around the fear of judgment of other people, was when I forgot it was inset day. And I just remember always trying to I ran a childcare business, so you've got to imagine there was 72 children on roll in this business. I had a team of staff. I had 72 parents. I was also supporting the parents of their I had community projects. And my head was just like it was just like busy spaghetti mind head. It was everywhere. But I always felt like I had everything under control in the motherhood journey. And when it came down to the dates of the diary, somehow I'd missed the email that said there was an inset day. Luckily, Billy was a secondary school. So I was let off a little bit. And he went to school and they came over to the setting where I worked. He said, Mum, there's an inset day. I've got all dressed and there's no school. And I just remember saying it in front of everybody. And I just thought, oh my gosh, how did I? There's me trying to show people you've got it all together. You can do this. And there's my kid in full uniform. And he was just like, there's no school. So that's one embarrassing moment. I think there was just because you it was more about judgment, people thinking that you don't have it together and you've let your child down a little bit. That was hence why I'm writing these books, because these are all scenarios we face them all the time. I'm not saying, guys, you should go out there and forget your kids' inset days. I'm not saying that by all means, but we are on a journey. And when we do make these little mistakes, when we do forget things, we are only human. Another embarrassing time that I think was more again when I was younger was when the poo explosion. I'd be honest with you. Have you ever been anywhere where you just it was the wrong place, wrong time? Well, that was where I was. And it was just like everyone was just helping me put together from their own baby's clothes to rechange my baby because he'd just gone through it twice. So all the spare clothes I'd gone, and then it went over me. And then it's a case of going to the toilet, washing it off, and just knowing you've got to sit through the event until the end to get home to get changed. So yeah, there's always I mean, if you ask my kids, there'll probably be more embarrassment moments.
I think my mum got the worst of the poo explosions when my kid was a baby. I managed to dodge
Oh,
most of that. But what I will say is, with regards to inset days, I have no idea most of the time. I'm just grateful there's a parents' WhatsApp chat these days because I wouldn't be without it now. They remind me to check. Even if they don't know themselves, they'll discuss it and be like, "Oh, there is, there isn't," and then someone will find that email confirming there is, or prompt the school to email to tell us that there is. So we have got it together collectively, but individually probably not.
no, and
Love
it's
that.
exactly that. And I think as well, for most people that have already been on the road, there's been a lot of times they've never ever recognized that actually it was okay to have those times where we were just like, I did on my one. I've got a talk show that links to the Road to Motherhood, and one woman that was on one of the series I've recorded, she shared a moment of actually not having it all together when the baby was first born and not feeling that moment. But that was the first time she'd shared that, and her kids are teenagers now. And I think it's good that we've got all this technology, the WhatsApp, but sometimes there's still that moment where we put so much pressure on ourselves, still
Yeah.
to I don't know why, and I'm going to be honest with you. Why is it that people think mums have these sponge brains where we just absorb everything and we can remember it all and do it all? I don't know who thinks this concept up, but it's not true, guys. We don't remember it all. We do, we are only human, and thank goodness for WhatsApp.
Yeah. So you've got your journey all ready to go pretty much. So how long do you reckon it'll take to bring all 6 books out? What
Oh
time frame are we
gosh.
looking at? Years or
Oh,
months?
it will be over a couple of years. Just because I will be honest with you, writing this book was because I've had the concept, the ideas that I had everything mapped out. I actually wrote this book in a month. People can't believe I did that, but I did because um, lots happened before Christmas when I had the deadline, and I just set aside and was like, January was the time it's going to happen, and I just sat and concentrated on getting the book done. I think for me, it's more about I don't want this to be a book series that just sits on the shelf. This is not something that I want one person just to buy the book, put it on the shelf. This is a movement in itself. This is something, so it's about the impact of the work I do in between each book. If I bring 6 books out all at once, people are just going to collect them, put them on the shelf. I want to do
Yeah.
a lot around implementation, like bringing people together, um a lot around what I work on is I'm a business strategist, but I work with a mindset and energetics, so I bring it all together and I want to really create that impact in between each book. So yes, haven't got the dates. I would love to say to you I've got the dates, but in true motherhood style, I'm winging this as well as we go along
The
this year.
first one's June the 16th, so noted. That's very
Yes,
soon. It's only in a few weeks' time.
we have
Excited?
5 weeks. Yes, 5 weeks. I'm also taking the book on tour across the UK to 6 locations for
Ah,
meeting, because what I want to do again is bring people together just to celebrate. So I've got 6 locations where I'm bringing anyone together who wants to buy a ticket to come along, and yeah, just come and connect with people and
you're allowed to reveal the 6 locations, or is that a secret?
yeah, of course. No, no, no. We've got London. First of all, London. We've got Manchester. We have got Scotland. We've got Essex. We've got West Sussex and Birmingham.
No Wales.
No, we haven't got. Do you know what? It's the logistics because the summer holidays. August is always a busy time for people. I had to I couldn't fit anything into August, so I had to sort of do the logistics of where I could meet up. So we've gone as far as we can to West Sussex and Manchester and London.
I think Manchester's the nearest for me, but it's still 2 hours away.
Oh,
But yeah, so I wish you all the best with that. That sounds really exciting.
thank you.
I'm intrigued to get into that myself as well as a mother. So where can we find you if people want to work with you directly?
So I'm on Facebook. You can come and find me on Facebook. Just search Joanne Cook, or you can search with The Road to Motherhood with Joanne Cook. I'm on there as well. So if you want to find me there, if not, my website's www.connectwithjo.com. or www.theroadtomotherhood.com.
Cool. So exciting times all around. Wish you the best of
Honestly.
luck with your books.
Thank you. And can I just add on that because I think this is the reason this book is also about part of my legacy making. And I think we've all got it in us to make our mark on this world, to help somebody, help another person, to make and create change. So I think this is a book that I want people to see as when you pick it up, it's not just about reflection, it's also about giving you the chance to say, what can I do? What more can I have? And what can I create for myself?
Yeah. My book is my legacy as well.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, I thank you for being my guest today. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation and all the best with your books as they
thank you
come
so
out.
much. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As I say, Monday, the 16th of June, you can buy the book, but come and follow me on the Road to Motherhood on the Facebook page for details.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.